What's up, world? I like to come up to my rooftop and have a cup of coffee and just check out the sunset. I was going to come up and do a quick video when the sun was setting, but it's not quite there yet, but it's still pretty beautiful. Got a little X in the sky there, marking the spot. Got some far away lateral clouds there. Those are pretty cool ones, kind of layered. I'm a big fan of clouds. See if I can get some sun here. There's some nice clouds on the horizon. It's the plane, the plane. Sorry, that's bad filming there. My corn's poking up over the top there. And I harvested my broccoli. Look at this. I thought this was a pumpkin, and I just found out that it's actually a gourd, I believe. And this one right here is a pumpkin. Goes all the way back here. It's huge. It's a monster. And then there's one baby one growing on the fence that's a really cute hat, little gourds. Those are going to be nice. But the corn's doing okay. Could have done better. These are black beans. And these are soybeans. I don't know what I'm going to do with soybeans, but it's going to be a good year. I love the sounds of the summer and the sounds of crying babies. So how's everybody doing? How are you feeling? How's life treating you? It really does matter. We let the years go by sometimes and just forget to take a breath. So much to be said about taking a moment out to just relax and take a deep breath. And the other day at work, I work with this guy that he's an immigrant from El Salvador. He's a carpenter. He's a really good one. He's a really nice guy. And he was talking about the people where he's from and how they, the horrible things they had to endure. Soldiers coming through, and all kinds of crap. Hiding in bushes, and and he came over here, and I don't know. He's got some very interesting perspectives on life. But anyway, we were working one day, and I laid down on the platform on the back. It's kind of a scaffold we built. I laid down for and rested for 3-4 minutes, and he kind of laughed. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, if you take 5 minutes and you just relax, it's like, it recharges you for an hour." But I said it in a way that I assumed he knew exactly what I was talking about. And then the next week he came back and he's like, "Hey, I tried what you said. I've been working all day and I laid down in my house." Or he said he laid down under the stars for a few minutes and totally relaxed his body. And he said it worked. And I was just surprised that someone had never tried that before. That's kind of a well-known thing, but it's funny. You forget some people just, because I have a hard time relaxing myself. But I don't know. It's kind of an interesting concept, that whole idea that it's not, what I said was, it wasn't just to relax. I told him it's not about just relaxing, it's about looking around at nature and taking the energy from nature. And I think that's the part that he really utilized. And that's why he was mentioning the stars, because I get power from nature. Nature is my ally. Nature's my friend. Nature's beautiful. Nature has a lot to share. And we look around at it, and it just, the mentality man has about nature, that it's just his for the taking. And, that it's just here to provide. That's one of the things that bother me about some people take the literal interpretations of the Bible, and they will say that, well, everything's here for us to, and no, it's not here for us. See, we're here for it. We're here to share what we know with the unspeaking world around us, but even plants talk. You just have to speed up the process a little bit by, time lapse to see it happening, but they talk in many ways, and the way I see it is the wind, the way it blows through the leaves and the trees. Whenever I hear that, it's a living organism to me, and that's part of it. It's not that the air is separate from the tree. The air is, in essence, assisting the tree in its growth and its structuring, its branches, to move the air around its leaves so it can breathe. And we have lungs to do these things, of course, but the breezes are necessary, and we just think, oh, it's a breeze through a tree. Well, no, the breeze and the tree work in tandem, and so goes with everything. And that sound of the leaves blowing in the wind is a speaking of sorts. When the wind howls, you could literally say it's howling. And so now when I look around at nature and I look at all the trees, I think of them as almost like people, and it's funny how many different plants that you don't realize, until you start really looking a lot closer. And I find a new tree every day. Like I've said, this one right here, here's my new tree for the day. Look at the way its branches flow up. I wonder what it is. Might be an ash or an alder. I always get them mixed up. Aspen, ash, alder. Anyway, it's kind of embracing everything in nature and realizing that it's all part of the same synchronous momentary action. It's just constantly flowing and moving. There's no stagnance in nature. It's just that we might see stagnance when we're stagnant, or we might see stagnance when excuse me when we observe things from our standpoint and our time and what we consider time. Our day to nature is nothing, and there are animals that live and die in a day, and some that live for thousands of years. But it's crazy that there are trees that have been around since Jesus was alive, and much before that, and trees, that are still living, that are that old, and that to me is just fascinating. These trees they're the grandfathers, and the grandmothers. They hold the collective consciousness of all the plants in that kingdom from that era. And perhaps there's something to be learned from them. Maybe we can, as funny as it sounds, you'd be called a kook to say we could speak to animals, or the animals even could speak to each other 20 years ago even. But now, they're finding that animals make all kinds of sounds, and it took computers to decode this. And this is why computers are such a blessing, is because, they've caused some strife and a lot of technology that we don't need, but at the same time, they've brought some amazing new methods to science to really drive home some of these ideas that, yes, they can set up a program where an animal, they can decipher an animal's call and say, oh yeah, they repeat this over and over, and it's pretty fascinating. So you think, if you can talk to an animal, who's to say that in another 20 years we won't be able to talk to this tree right here? This tree is big, beautiful, beautiful tree, and I despise this tree on one hand because it's there's the tree, and there's my pond. And the reason the pond's green is because of that tree. Those leaves just are notorious for falling. But, that's one of those funny things, kind of like, you can't complain about it. It's just like complaining about people who complain about the animals that come in their yard, or the squirrels that come take the nuts from the bird feeder or the bird seed. It's like, hey, squirrels are hungry too. But nature. Here we go. Now we're getting a good sunset. So think of this, if the plants are alive, the animals are alive, the sunset is alive. The action of the sun going behind the clouds. There's other places where it's already set and places where it hasn't set yet. But right here, right now, this is what's happening. And this is a conscious moment. It's beautiful. I know it sounds cheesy, the whole embrace the moment thing. When it's put certain ways, it is cheesy. But, wow, look at that. Goodbye, lovely sun. Peace and love to everybody. I'm going to end this at 12:12.